Her son tells it like this. When Brenda Sue Piñata met her future husband Frank decades ago, she came home with a smile on her face and a cheeriness in her step. As they grew older and Frank struggled with dementia, he still wrote her love letters. I was lucky to speak with Brenda Sue before she died, not long after her husband passed away. When they met, they were both math teachers.
He in Sacramento, me in Stockton, and he asked me to dance at a math conference gathering.
Frank had joined the Merchant Marines when he was 17. He and a buddy paid a man on the street some $20 to act as their father so they could fight in World War II. On one of their first dates, Frank flew Brenda Sue around in an airplane.
And I got sick and he had to land us, but that's another old story.
They lived together in the town of Rescue, California, their little piece of heaven.
When he got really sick, gardening and journaling were my refuge places. He could sit on the deck and watch me. The deeper his dementia got, the more he needed to see me. He needed the comfort of knowing exactly where I was and that I could answer whatever his questions were.
She said caregiving for someone with dementia is like acting. You go along with their story.
We learn how to do therapeutic lies. If it helps them, say, things are okay, it's all right, or not get upset if they ask the same question 20 times.
But she also needed somewhere to release how she was feeling, so she joined a unique kind of poetry group just for caregivers. The group's leader, Francis Kakugawa, inspires caregivers in Sacramento to create meaning out of painful experiences through poetry. Brenda Sue remembers breaking down in tears when she met everyone.
All this time I thought I was totally alone and nobody in the whole world had ever done it before. I just broke down and cried a lot.
Writing poetry helped Brenda Sue slow down and appreciate the simple moments. She wrote a poem called Am I the Caregiver or the Receiver?
His memories from yesteryear remind me of our abundance, our history, our travel, our joyful dances through decades. His frequent naps gift me with solitude to know myself, catch up with chores, or read, or write without interruption.
In the poetry group, nothing was off limits.
We talk about things that you couldn't talk in normal company. If there's pee and poop, we talk the pee and the poop.
One of her poems took the shape of a help wanted ad.
Love and kindness required. Patience and listening a plus. Logic and reason don't exist.
We don't often hear stories that show the value of caregiving for people with dementia, or poetry that uses humor to capture the absurdity of aging.
Those are probably stories that aren't shared as often.
Kate McLean is a professor at Western Washington University. She studies how people recall and interpret their experiences in narrative form.
So perhaps it's an act of resistance or empowerment just to put them out into the ether, these experiences of caring for someone with dementia, which might begin to normalize or bring some empathy or compassion to that experience.
McLean also talks about the idea of master narratives, culturally shared stories that help provide a framework for how we understand ourselves.
And they also can be constraining if our experiences or identities don't fit within those storylines.
The caregiver poets create their own kind of master narratives. They write poems that reframe what it means to help loved ones age with dignity.
Well, she's my mother, so of course she's the most fantastic person to have ever lived. But everyone says that about her, so it's not just my bias.
That's Brenda Sue's son, Mike Smith. He lives in his mom's old house in Rescue, a home filled with her photographs and writing.
All the other writings that she has, I don't know what I'm going to do with. I feel like I should read them, but I don't know that I'll have enough lifetime to read them.
Mike reads one of his mom's poems, titled The Long Waltz.
We're dancing the long waltz, out of step, yet holding tightly to yesteryear. This long goodbye amplifies memories we treasure, and that we'd rather forget. We face eternity on a different schedule. Is this the day our dance stops? Well, I hear different music. Create my own dance. Is there another dance yet to be learned, or will all the music stop? We've been saying goodbye for at least 10 years, and so every moment that she got with him was a gift, right? It was gravy on top.
Before she died, Brenda Sue had been working on a book, Dancing with Mr. P, Disco to Dementia. The title captures their story, poetic and filled with love from beginning to the end. For Philosophy Talk, I'm Holly J. McDede.